Hello, and welcome to the Pittsburgh City Council regular meeting of Tuesday, April 9th, 2019. My name is Louise Chris, and with us today is Nick Miller, our sign language interpreter. The following is a list of legislation to be introduced by Pittsburgh City Council. Councilman Reverend Ricky V. Burgess presents Bill 1558. Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Rex Coffenauer in the amount not to exceed $2,500 in a settlement of federal litigation. Bill 1559. Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in the amount of $4,545.19 in favor of Rental Cars of Western Maryland for damage to vehicle from an accident with the City of Pittsburgh dump truck near 1621 Sawmill Run Boulevard on November 8, 2018. Councilman Corey O'Connor presents Bill 1560. Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Human Resources and Civil Service to enter into an intergovernmental cooperation agreement or agreements with the County of Allegheny and the Partner for Work for the shared operation and administration of the 2019 Learn and Earn Summer Youth Employment Program in an amount not to exceed $1,500,000 and for the payment of the cost thereof. Bill 1561. Resolution providing for the authorization to make all legitimate expenditures for payments and agreements or agreements with various agencies to conduct a summer youth employment program to youth residing in the City of Pittsburgh, summer staff wages, and administrative expenditures necessary to implement the 2019 Learn and Earn Summer Youth Employment Program, and provide for the periodic transfer of funds to be used in the 2019 Learn and Earn Summer Youth Employment Program for the payment of the cost thereof, not to exceed $200,000. Bill 1562. Resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all cities' rights, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned property in the 13th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 175B, Lot 152. Bill 1563. Resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's rights, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned properties in the 13th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 175B, Lot 148 and 149. Bill 1564. Resolution providing for the execution of cooperation agreement or agreements with the URA for the administration of certain projects and programs and providing for the payment of the cost thereof, not to exceed $2,550,000. Bill 1565. Resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's rights, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned properties in the 5th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 27B, Lots 18 and 19. Bill 1566. Resolution approving an execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land by and between the URA and the Hill Community Development Corporation with respect to the sale of Block 10P, Lots 17 and 18, situated in the 5th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, Council District Number 6. Bill 1567. Resolution authorizing the mayor and the Office of Management and Budget to renew the non-exclusive license agreement with the Federal General Service Administration for the Veterans Affairs Highland Drive campus at 7180 Highland Drive for limited use and to conduct due diligence pursuant to the application approved by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Department of Justice to acquire the property for law enforcement and management purposes. Emergency management purposes. Councilwoman Teresa Cale Smith presents Bill 1546. Resolution amending Resolution 50, effective January 28, 2019, entitled Providing for the Filing of a Community Development Statement by the City of Pittsburgh with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for a grant in connection with the 2010 Community Development Block Grant Program, providing for the execution of grant contracts and for the filing of other data, providing for the required assurances, providing for execution of payment vouchers on letters of credit, and for certification of authorized signature, the deposit of the funds in a bank account, and providing for the payment of the expenses within categories so as to transfer funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance minus $176.74 and transfer these funds to the Birmingham Foundation plus $176.74. Sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Bill 1548. Resolution amending Resolution 51, effective January 28, 2019, entitled Resolution Providing for an Agreement or Agreements with Various Community Organizations for Operational, Administrative Expenses, Maintenance, Purchase of Equipment, and or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities, and for the administrative, operational costs, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and or the benefit of the residents of the City of Pittsburgh at a cost not to exceed $918,650, so as to transfer funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance minus $176.74 and transfer these funds to the Birmingham Foundation plus $176.74. Sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Bill 1548. Resolution amending Resolution 195, effective March 28, 2019. Resolution providing for the filing of a community development statement by the City of Pittsburgh with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for a grant in connection with the 2014 Community Development Block Grant Program, providing for the execution of grant contracts and for the filing of other data for required assurances, providing for the execution of payment vouchers on letters of credit and for certification of authorized signatures, the deposit of the funds in a bank account, and providing for the payment of the expenses within categories so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance minus $7,365.46 to the Birmingham Foundation plus $7,365.46. Sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Bill 1549. Resolution amending Resolution 196, effective March 28, 2019, entitled Resolution Providing for an Agreement or Agreements with Various Community Organizations for Operational, Administrative Expenses, Maintenance, Purchase of Equipment, and or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities, and for administrative, operational costs, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities of various department programs, projects for the benefit of the residents of the City of Pittsburgh at a cost not to exceed $940,000, so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance minus $7,365.46 to Birmingham Foundation plus $7,365.46. Sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Bill 1550. Resolution amending Resolution 199, effective March 28, 2019, providing for the filing of a community development by the City of Pittsburgh with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for a grant in connection with the 2015 CDBG program, providing for the execution of grant contracts, providing for the execution of payment vouchers on letters of credit, and for certification of authorized signatures, the deposit of the funds in the bank account, and providing for the payment of these expenses within categories so as to reprogram funds within the City Council office from Bridge Committee minus $5,000 to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee plus $5,000 and Mount Washington CDC Quality of Life Committee minus $5,579.48 to the Elliott West End Athletic Association plus $5,579.48. Sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Bill 1551. Resolution amending Resolution 200, effective March 28, 2019, providing for an agreement or agreements with various community organizations for operational administrative expenses, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities, and for administrative operational costs, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities of various department project programs for the benefit of the City of Pittsburgh residents, the 2015 CDBG, at a cost not to exceed $895,000, so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Bridge Committee minus $5,000 to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee plus $5,000, and the Mount Washington CDC Quality of Life Committee minus $5,579.48 to the Elliott West End Athletic Association plus $5,579.48. Sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Bill 1552. Resolution amending Resolution 197, effective March 28, 2019, providing for the community development statement by the City of Pittsburgh with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for a grant in connection with the 2016 CDBG program, providing for the execution of a grant contract and for the filing of other data, providing for the reassurance, providing for execution of payment vouchers on letters of credit, and for the certification of authorized signatures, the deposit of the funds in a bank account, and providing for the payment of expenses within categories, so as to reprogram funds within City Council office from Neighborhood Learning Alliance Winchar Senior Rent minus $3,000, Youth Place Hurricane Youth Athletic Association minus $3,000, to Birmingham Foundation Winchar Senior Rent plus $3,000, and Community Reach plus $3,000. Sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Bill 1553. Resolution amending Resolution 198, effective March 28, 2019, entitled Resolution providing for an agreement or agreements with various community organizations for operational administrative expenses, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities, and for the administrative operational costs, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities and various departmental programs, projects for the benefit of the residents of the City of Pittsburgh at a cost not to exceed $850,000, so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance Winchar Senior Rent minus $3,000, Youth Places Hurricane Youth Athletic Association minus $3,000, to Birmingham Foundation Winchar Senior Rent plus $3,000, and Computer Reach plus $3,000. Sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Resolution 1554. Resolution amending Resolution 203, effective March 28, 2019, providing for the filing of a grant with the 2017 CDBG program, providing for the execution of grant contracts and for the filing of other data for required assurances, providing for execution of payment vouchers on letters of credit and for certification of authorized signature, the deposit of the funds in a bank account, and providing for the payment of the expenses within categories so as to issue a name change within City Council budget, Parks and Recreation minus $2,500, Southwest Pittsburgh CDC minus $11,500, to Computer Reach plus $250, St. Andrew's Lutheran Church plus $3,750, Associated Master Plumbers of Allegheny County plus $5,000, West End Power plus $2,500, and Birmingham Foundation Westside Mustangs plus $2,500, sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Bill 1555. Resolution amending Resolution 204, effective March 28, 2019, entitled An Agreement or Agreements with Various Community Organizations for Operational Administrative Expenses, Maintenance, Purchase of Equipment, and/or Rehabilitation of Neighborhood Facilities and/or Administrative Operational Costs, Maintenance, Purchase of Equipment, and/or Rehabilitation of Neighborhood Facilities of various departmental programs, projects for the benefit of the residents of the City of Pittsburgh, the 2017 CDBG program at a cost not to exceed $825,000 so as to perform a name change within City Council from Parks and Recreation minus $2,500, Southwest Pittsburgh CDC minus $11,500, to Computer Reach plus $250, St. Andrew's Lutheran Church plus $3,750, Associated Master Plumber of Allegheny County plus $5,000, West End Power plus $2,500, and Birmingham Foundation Westside Mustangs plus $2,500, sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Bill 1556. Resolution amending Resolution 178, effective March 15, 2019, providing for the filing of a community development statement by the City of Pittsburgh with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for a grant in connection with the 2018 Community Development Block Grant Program, providing for the execution of grant contracts and for the filing of other data, provided required assurances, providing for the execution of payment vouchers on letter of credit and for certification of authorized signatures, the deposit of the funds in a bank account, and providing for the payment of the expenses within categories so as to transfer funds from City Council from Bridge Committee minus $10,000, West End Employment Center minus $25,000, Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee plus $10,000, Birmingham Foundation Westside Mustangs plus $5,000, Pittsburgh Musical Theater plus $5,000, Sheridan United Methodist Church Kids Club plus $5,000, the Education Partnership plus $10,000, sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Bill 1557. Resolution amending Resolution 179, effective March 15, 2019, providing for an agreement or agreements with various community organizations for operational administrative expenses, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and/or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities, and for administrative operational costs, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and/or the rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities of various departmental programs and projects for the benefit of the residents of the City of Pittsburgh, at a cost not to exceed $735,000, as to transfer funds within City Council as follows from Bridge Committee minus $10,000, West End Employment Center minus $25,000, to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee plus $10,000, Birmingham Foundation West Side Mustangs plus $5,000. Pittsburgh Musical Theater plus $5,000. Sheridan United Methodist Church Kids Club plus $5,000. And the Education Partnership plus $10,000. Sponsored by Mrs. Cale Smith. Councilman Bruce A. Krause presents Bill 1568. Communication from Jennifer Olzinger, Acting Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting acting pay approvals on behalf of Public Works for Sean Wiggle, Paul Abel, Rob Jacobs, and Mike Schmidt per the acting pay policy revised June 2018. This concludes the reading for today, Tuesday, April 9th, 2019. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this regular meeting of Pittsburgh City Council for today, Tuesday, April the 9th, 2019. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Here.
Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mrs. Harris. Mr. Lavelle.
Here.
Mr. O'Connor.
Here.
Mrs. Cale Smith. Mrs. Strasburger. Mr. Krause, President.
Here.
6 members present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? We ask that you would please remain standing then for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Our next order of business is proclamations. I will go in this order. I'll go O'Connor, Coghill, Krause, and Harris. Good morning, Councilman.
All right, we are excited about this project that is going to open this Thursday morning. If I could have everybody up for Krause Commons. It is not named after Council President Krause, although he would like it to be. It's another great Krause family in the city of Pittsburgh. So if anybody doesn't know this, this is the gateway to Squirrel Hill. This is a great project for all of us. This was where Poli's used to be. I will say this now, and I will probably say it again Thursday at the groundbreaking. I think the biggest concern that residents have about this building is what happened to the lobster golden door handles of the old Poli's building. That's the only question I get. But this is a great dedication to a great family for donating, as well as a great organization. So whereas Jewish Residential Services supporting individuals with psychiatric, developmental, and intellectual disabilities by helping them to love, learn, work, and socialize as valued members of the community. And whereas at the corner of Murray and Forward Avenue in Squirrel Hill, in the former Poli's restaurant location, Jewish Residential Services has opened its new office space in the building known as Krause Commons. Whereas Krause Commons is also the new location of the Sally and Howard Levin Clubhouse. And whereas Krause Commons includes 33 new affordable housing units, which we desperately needed in Squirrel Hill, and whereas Krause Commons is a testament to the commitment and generosity of the late doctors Corinne and Seymour Krause, and many others. And now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby recognize and commend the Krause family for its vision and generosity, and Jewish Residential Services for its commitment to continuing its mission of helping members of the Pittsburgh community. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Thursday, April 11th, 2019 to be Jewish Residential Services Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
May I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Before I bring representatives up, I do have to say that the Krause family is actually very special to me because I have a relative that's been working in City Hall for how many years now, Connie? 20 plus years. So Connie Sekernick, who's a relative, works for me, so we have to give Connie a shout out. But thank you guys very much for your generosity, and thank you for doing this project.
Good morning. I'm Nancy Gale, Executive Director of Jewish Residential Services. On behalf of our board, our staff, and our participants, thank you, City Council, for this honor. I'd particularly like to recognize Councilman O'Connor and Lynette Letterman and Connie Sekernick on his staff for their assistance. I'd also like to thank our partners, Action Housing, for our generous donors, and especially the Krause family, which was instrumental in the founding of JRS. They made Krause Commons a reality. Our mission is to help individuals with psychiatric, intellectual, and developmental disabilities live independently in their community of choice. Being able to live in a community of one's choosing is a benefit to the individual. It helps him or her avoid social isolation, make connections that offer support, and it helps people take advantage of all that the neighborhood and the city has to offer. But it's not just good for the individual. It's beneficial for the whole community as well. Inclusion makes us a better community by increasing interactions among all different kinds of people and helping the community understand that the needs of people with disabilities for friendship, for community, and for productive employment are the same as everyone else's. In so doing, inclusion improves the physical and mental health of our residents, the community, and the local economy as well. So thank you for the chance to tell our story to the city of Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Coghill for Councilwoman Kale Smith. Good morning, Councilman. How are you?
President. Can Corey and Karen and Ron come up, please? You don't have anybody else with you, do you? Okay, just three of you? Okay. So this proclamation is for Corey here, and Councilwoman Teresa Kale Smith couldn't be here today, but I'm happy to fill in because I'm friends with your parents. So, and I really appreciate what you do. If anybody can't guess what she's here for, she's a fantastic fast-pitch softball player. And, her stats and her career show that. I asked her if she thought she could strike me out. She said, sure. So, anyway, whereas Corey Freyermuth, daughter of Ron and Karen Freyermuth, was recognized in the Penn State Beaver Athletic Department's newly formed Hall of Honor during the Athletic Spirit Weekend, February 9th, 2019. And whereas Ms. Freyermuth is a native of Pittsburgh and a graduate of Perry Traditional Academy. She attended Penn State Beaver from 2009 and 2013. Whereas during her years at Penn State, she played softball for 4 seasons as a pitcher and third baseman and set 3 Penn State Beaver School records from the mound. She earned a career ERA of 2.58 with 453 strikeouts and 55 wins. And in the offensive side, she batted over 400 in her senior season with 24 career home runs. And Corey received numerous awards for her accomplishments during 3 consecutive United States Collegiate Athletic Association's All-American Awards. Player of the Week 4 times in her career, 3 Penn State University All-Conference Awards, 2 Pitcher of the Year awards, as well as being named Player of the Week and/or Pitcher of the Week 9 times. And Ms. Freiermuth also helped her team to win back-to-back championships in 2012 and 2013. Corey graduated in 2013 with a degree in Administration of Justice and is currently working as a paralegal in the Allegheny County District Attorney's Office. And she was also elected as committee woman for District 1 in the 28th Ward. I didn't know that. That's great. Taking over, after your parents. It's good stuff. Now for there be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby congratulate Corey Freiermuth for her athletic accomplishments and thank her for her service to the City of Pittsburgh. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Tuesday, April 9th, 2019 to be Corey Freiermuth Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Here, here. Congratulations. May I have a motion in a second?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
Good job. We just have her say something. Come on. It's up to you, Corey. I don't want to put her on the spot. Let's just get up here for a picture, okay? Can we do that?
Okay. May we have all members? Okay.
Go right in my next one.
Yes, please.
Okay, would Sarah please come up? Hi, Sarah. Yeah, so say hi to Sarah, everybody. Sarah is here representing the Sylvia Lowry Foundation. The Sylvia Lowry Foundation, National Multiple Sclerosis Society in the United States, and the MS International Federation after her young brother was diagnosed with the disease in 1945. Not Sarah, of course. She doesn't go back that far. But yeah, the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, Pennsylvania's Keystone chapter, will be hosting Walk MS, an annual charity walk on Sunday, April 14th, 2019, with 1 mile and 3 mile options beginning at Point State Park. And whereas Walk Multiple Sclerosis Pittsburgh is more than a fundraising event, it is a gathering place connecting people affected by MS with other affected by the disease, family members, healthcare providers, volunteers, and the support offered by the National MS Society. And now therefore be it resolved that this Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend the National Multiple Sclerosis Society Pennsylvania Keystone Chapter for their extensive services and advocacy for all those that seek a world free of MS. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Sunday, April 14th, 2019 to be Walk MS Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
May I have a motion in a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you for your work.
Okay, can I just ask the members to come up one more time and give one more picture of Sarah?
Okay. This morning we have two very special proclamations that I'm honored to present. Deb, can you come up first, please? We are here to honor and celebrate the 65th anniversary of QED and the birth of public television and the wonderful service that it provides. How are you? So good to see you. Thank you for coming. Oh, no, my pleasure, honestly. So, whereas 65 years ago, on April the 1st, 1954, television viewers in southwest Pennsylvania saw the birth of an innovative black and white concept called community-supported educational television. And whereas QED was made possible by the community, thousands of families in the region each contributed $2 to launch the station. And whereas QED has gone from a modest single signal to a multimedia powerhouse over those 65 years. And whereas QED has always seen its role in the community as providing a safe, inclusive place for all, and this year is launching a multi-platform campaign in which everyone can participate in sharing stories of kindness. And whereas the community is invited to the Fred Rogers Studio on October the 1st, 2019, so that they can participate in a night to celebrate kindness, which will feature vendors, local celebrities, raffles, PBS characters, and more. And whereas WQED will also celebrate its 65th anniversary by showing vintage WQED programming, showing to hear about growing up in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, a social media campaign where people can post things they love about WQED in Pittsburgh, special 65th anniversary spots both on TV and radio, and Instagram stories of WQED's 65 years of service to our community. And so now, therefore, be it resolved that this Council of the City of Pittsburgh commends and congratulates WQED for 65 years of excellence in communications and community service to the residents of Pittsburgh, America, and the rest of the world. And be it even further resolved that this Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare April the 9th, 2019 to be WQED Day here in Pittsburgh. May I have a motion and a second, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Here we are. Congratulations. That's quite a moment, isn't it?
It is. So you will, of course, understand as a member of the media, I can't pass by a minute at the microphone, right? But I did want to say thank you to President Kraus and also to all of you on council for this great honor. One of the things that I'm very pleased about is that I know without a doubt that we serve every single one of your constituents across the city, across the county, across a lot of Pennsylvania, and of course across the United States. So April 1st, 1954, April Fool's Day, interestingly, the first ever community-sponsored public television station went on the air. It was a great experiment. It still is a great experiment. A year later, they started something called the School of the Air. I'm very proud to tell you as a Pittsburgh native that one WQED has now blossomed into 5 television channels, 3 radio stations, extensive education work. A lot of the good stuff on social media comes from us. We work with partners from libraries to laundromats to make sure that all of the good material gets out there. We do welcome you to our celebration, and I want to just acknowledge the unsung heroes of WQED. You all know Fred and Josie, right, from Children's Corner. Mr. Rogers was our first program director and then went on to really put WQED on the national map. Well, there also are all the people who Council President Kraus referenced gave $2 to get this station on the air. PPG came forward, Westinghouse came forward, Mellon came forward, Carnegie Mellon came forward, the University of Pittsburgh came forward. Today we're very proud to still have a lot of community support, a lot of rad support for WQED. So I just can't thank you enough. And I'll finish off with a quote that I hope you'll carry through the day and through the week, and this is of course from Fred Rogers. This is my favorite Fred Rogers quote. There are 3 ways to be an ultimate success in life. The first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. And the third way is to be kind. Thank you very much for this great honor.
May we have all members for this, please? Hey, now. Carlin, will you come up, please? Are you by yourself or do you have others with you? Okay. Can I have my fellow board members come up with me, please? I want to recognize the services of Councilman Lavelle, Councilwoman Gross, and Councilwoman, Councilwoman Strasburger as board members of the Carnegie Library. You're not on the board. Yeah. I thought you said all members. No, board members. Thank you. Come up, please. Are you here with the library? Please do. Hey, good morning. Good morning. So this won't be the first time you've heard me stand up here and boast about this amazing asset to the city of Pittsburgh, which is known as the Carnegie Library System. And one of the things I'm most proud of in the years that I've been here on the council is that the entire time I've been here for 12 years, I have had the honor to serve as a board member of the Carnegie Library System. And it has truly, truly been one of the most rewarding and enriching experiences of my life. And many of us, and I'm no exception, labor under the illusion that somehow the doors to libraries just open and books and digital content magically appears and services, people are there to help you with the services and everything functions without effort. But we know that's not true. It takes an amazing group of people, largely the staff, that is associated with the Carnegie Library to really, really bring home what that system means to us here in Pittsburgh. So it is truly my honor to stand here with my fellow board members and to recognize the great Carnegie Library System here on National Library Week, right? Okay, so here we go. Whereas libraries have long served as trusted and treasured institutions where people of all backgrounds can come together to connect and learn. And whereas libraries and librarians build strong communities through transformative services, programs, and expertise. And whereas libraries, which promote the free exchange of information and ideas for all, are the cornerstones of our democracy. And whereas libraries promote civic engagement by keeping people informed and aware of community events and issues. And whereas librarians and library employees partner with other civic organizations to make sure that their community needs are being met. And whereas libraries and librarians empower their communities to make informed decisions by providing free access to information. And whereas libraries are a resource for all members of the community, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status, by offering services and educational resources that transform lives and strengthen communities. And so, whereas National Library Week 2019 in the city of Pittsburgh encourages all residents to visit their neighborhood library, to take advantage of the wonderful resources available to them, offering a world of knowledge and opportunity and a future of unlimited possibility. And so now, therefore, be it resolved that this council of the city of Pittsburgh recognizes, supports, and celebrates all the resources and services that libraries provide here in Pittsburgh and the region, and be it then even further resolved that this council of the city of Pittsburgh declares the week of April 7 through April 13, 2019 to be National Library Week 2019 here in the city of Pittsburgh. May I have a motion and a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Come on up. Congratulations. Okay, great. Here, thank you. Yes, thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name's Holly Anderton. I manage the downtown library, which is just a few blocks away, so you can totally just come see us on your lunch break. Just have a few words. Thank you so much for this today. We're so grateful to be recognized with this proclamation for National Library Week. As you know, we assist community members every day, from helping the earliest readers gain literacy skills to helping seniors navigate healthcare and everything in between. We're lucky to know and serve our community every day as we engage in literacy and learning. But the real stars of the library are actually the community members who learn to use our resources to achieve their own goals. So I just have a really quick story from one of our own community member in his own words. This is from Jermaine. He says, after serving 15 years in prison, I was released to the halfway house in downtown Pittsburgh in January 2019. I was not familiar with the Pittsburgh area. I only had my driver's license, birth certificate, and social security card. I was without a resume and unaware of the resources that Pittsburgh had. I found the downtown Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, and I met a librarian named Miss Tammy, who helped me set up my Gmail account for the first time. She also introduced me to Miss Arlette with CareerLink, and Miss Arlette helped me put together a resume. Miss Tammy showed me how to save my resume in my Gmail account and assisted me with searching for jobs online. Since then, I've held both a full and a part-time job. I have my own apartment, and now I am working on building up credit so I can purchase a vehicle. I'd like to thank Miss Tammy, Miss Arlette, and the whole downtown library staff for assisting me on finding my way in a city where I had no resources. Now here I am, not even a year out, and I'm already on a good path. Thank you so much. That's it.
Yep, we're good. May we have all members, please, for the photograph? Okay, Councilwoman Harris, please.
I didn't like to invite all the friends, family of Tracy Worthy to please come up. Tracy was one of our paramedics. She was at my house and helped with my mom when she needed her to go down to the hospital. And it's sad that we had lost her. And I have a memorial proclamation for her. And whereas Tracy Lynn Worthy was born August 3rd, 1967 in Manchester neighborhood of the North Side. She was raised in the North Side and lived there her entire life. And where Tracy joined her mother in heaven on March 14th, 2019. She resided with her father and her brother on the North Side. Tracy also resided with her two sons, Tony and JT, to whom she was fiercely devoted. And whereas Tracy obtained an art degree an art history degree, but instead decided to pursue a career as a paramedic. She became a City of Pittsburgh paramedic on June 5th, 1995. With 24 years of dedicated service, Tracy was given the nickname Night Rover and spread many smiles and laughs. She was beloved by her coworkers and the city residents, whom she touched the lives of. And now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh sends its most sincerely condolences to the family of Tracy Lynn Worthy for sharing her contagious positive attitude and always brightening the lives of those around her. Tracy will always be remembered as a genuine, loving, and caring individual by her family, co-workers, and community members. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Tuesday, April 9th, 2019, until Tuesday, April 16th, 2019, to be Tracy Worthy Week in the City of Pittsburgh.
May I have a motion and a second, please?
Second.
And all in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Oops. I don't know, these pages stick together here. And I'm sure someone's going to come up to speak, or maybe each one of you. If you need another proclamation, I'll get it for you.
Thank you. Unfortunately, Tracy's family was unable to attend today. We accept this proclamation on their behalf. Thank you, Councilwoman Harris. For recognizing Tracy's service to our great city. I'm sorry, this is still so fresh. Her sudden passing was unexpected. However, with the support of her fellow union members, past and present employees, and many friends and family, we were able to honor her in a manner in which she deserved. On a personal note, I am grateful to have known her. She was a dear friend, and I will never forget her. Thank you.
Thank you. It's rough.
On behalf of the Bureau of Pittsburgh EMS, we thank you, Councilwoman Harris, for this honor for Tracy. And I don't think I can say anything more than her dear friend, Deputy Chief Amira Gilchrist, has brought forth, and I think we're honored, along with her family, to be honored today. To know Tracy was to love her. So, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Sure. May we have our members, please? Okay, Madam Clerk, there are two to be read into the record. Thank you.
Now therefore be it resolved, Councilman Kraus presents, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby congratulate Dean Maureen Lally Green on receiving the Judge James R. McGregor Award for exceptional contributions to the community for his dedication to our community. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019 to be Dean Maureen Lally Green Day in the City of Pittsburgh. And Councilman Kraus also presents, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby congratulate Justice Max Bauer on receiving the Judge Robert E. Dower Award for Judicial Leadership and Excellence Award for his contributions to our community. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019 to be Justice Max Baer Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I have a motion and a second, please? Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye, motion passes. Then I have a will of council, and the last paragraph will be fine, Madam Clerk. Okay, thank you.
Councilman Kraus presents, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh hereby urges the Pennsylvania General Assembly to support the Infrastructure Improvement Plan Restore Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I have a motion and a second, please? Second. Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Thank you. Councilwoman Gross, you have a will of council that you wish to present.
Yes.
Thank you. Come up, please. Good morning. How are you?
Thank you. Sometimes we read these into the records, but I'm going to present the will of council for clean water. Can I have the supporters come up instead of speaking at that microphone? We'll give you an opportunity to speak at this one. I think it's a really important topic. We're going to speak today about the importance of protecting our waterways in Pennsylvania. With that, I'll just read. There's a lot of great information here. Thank you, Steve. Whereas the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers have proposed a revised definition of waters of the United States, and urging the agencies to preserve the 2015 Clean Water Rule, which includes wetlands, headwaters, and intermittent and ephemeral streams in the definition of waters of the United States. Whereas the 2015 Clean Water Rule clarified the terms water of the United States, which defines the extent of waters protected under the Clean Water Act's suite of pollution prevention, control, and cleanup programs.
Are you? I think he's here. You can stand over here. Is he here?
Yes.
No, he's not.
No.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Have a seat, sir, please.
And whereas the 2015 Clean Water Act is the fundamental federal law protecting the waters of the United States from pollution, degradation, and destruction. I think this is the important part for all of us. Whereas the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has water resources that are abundant and vital to the overall ecosystem, health, and economic well-being of the Commonwealth, with approximately 86,000 miles of streams, 404,000 acres of wetlands, and where I lost my stake, 161,445 acres of lakes, 17 square miles of the Delaware estuary, and additionally 63 miles of Great Lakes shorefront. Whereas our streams provide drinking water for roughly 63% of our citizens and are critical to our economy, including, and not inconsequentially, small breweries that are supporting 21,000 jobs in the Commonwealth. And in addition, our wildlife tourism and recreation industry, which generates for the Commonwealth $2.8 billion. Whereas our wetlands perform vital cost-free filtration of drinking water and source water, often in the headwaters regions, as well contain many of our rare, threatened, and endangered species, reflecting their critical importance to the conservation of biodiversity within the Commonwealth, and provide critical flows for our state fish, the brook trout. Whereas the proposed rollback will weaken protections for drinking water sources at a time when our drinking water sources are increasingly threatened by the impacts of climate change, outdated and failing infrastructure, and growing pollution from unregulated contaminants and industrial sources. Whereas strong federal standards are needed because water does not respect political boundaries and flows from one state to another. And whereas more than 1,000 peer-reviewed scientific studies have confirmed that headwater, intermittent, and ephemeral streams and wetlands affect the quantity and quality of water in the larger bodies of water downstream. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of Pittsburgh does hereby oppose the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers' proposed revised definition of waters of the United States, And further resolved that the EPA and the Corps preserve a broad definition of waters of the United States that includes clean water action protections for headwater, ephemeral, and intermittent streams and wetlands as defined by the 2015 Clean Water Rule.
Thank you, Councilwoman. May I have a motion and a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion, Councilwoman.
I actually was going to, I think if we vote, we can have our
Okay,
supporter
sure.
here
All in favor?
comment. Aye. Thank you, appreciate it. I would like to invite you up to have a few words, if you wouldn't mind.
Thank you.
Move this out of the way a little bit. Thank you.
My name is Steve Hosdovich. I'm the Pennsylvania Campaigns Director for Clean Water Action, a national nonprofit organization fighting to protect our drinking water here in Pennsylvania and all across the United States. We have roughly 7,000 members here in the city, and so on behalf of those members, I would like to thank Councilwoman Gross for her sponsorship of today's will and all the members of council for their support. What the federal government is doing is clearly rolling back Clean Water Act protections for our waterways. And here in Pittsburgh, we obviously know the value of water based off of our three rivers and all the various waterways that feed into our three rivers and the sources they are for recreation and drinking water. And as Councilwoman Gross pointed out in the resolution, those are also very vital things for all of our Commonwealth. The Clean Water Act is really the fundamental federal law that protects this, and any time we see actions happening that roll that back, that threatens our waterways. So I really appreciate council support. This is something that builds off of the support you were so gracious to offer back in 2014 when the Clean Water Rule was being adopted by the Obama administration. So I appreciate you continuing to stand with Clean Water Action, its members, and the residents of this city who really vitalize clean water, which is really having access to clean water is really a human right for all of us, and I appreciate all of you standing by it, and I know our members do as well, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Councilwoman, thank you very much. That concludes the proclamation portion of our council meeting and takes us into public comment. Anyone wishing to speak before council this morning, of course, will have 3 minutes in which to do so. I am going to take this time to remind everyone that the rules of council are clear in that they state comment is limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which are at this time or could at another time come before this council. We will not permit profanity. We will maintain order at all times. I ask that you please begin by giving your name and the neighborhood in which you reside for our public record. When the green light comes on, it will indicate the start of your 3 minutes. When the yellow light comes on, you'll have 1 minute to summarize your thoughts. When the red light comes on, then your time will have expired. Good morning, sir. Welcome.
My name is Robert Edward Thompson from Scotland. I come from Dunfermline in Scotland, and it was the Dunfermline people under General Forbes who came over to this country between 1758 to 1768, and they created the name of this town at that point. You're all pronouncing it the incorrect way, because this town was named as Pittsburgh by the people from Scotland at that time. Way back in that year when we kicked the French and the Indians out of this area. And at that point, that's how the name got created. Many Germans also came into this town, but they pronounced this area, other towns as Pittsburgh. They created 31 other towns in this country, all over America, but they're tiny towns in comparison to this town that was created by the Scottish people, because people like Andrew Carnegie was also from my hometown. He came over here at the age of 14 in 1835. That's when he was born, and he came over here and he became the person in charge in this country. And everybody spells the town the right way, Pittsburgh, not Pittsburgh, because borough is the Scottish name for town. Berg is the German name for this town, but this town was created by the Scottish, not by the Germans. Although the Germans came into this town and they created 31 other towns which they called Pittsburgh, the German name for town. President Donald Trump is the current Prime Minister, and his mother came from Scotland, and she was always very eligible of the pronunciation of Pittsburgh, not Pittsburgh. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. May we have our next speaker, please?
I can give you all the documentation on this.
Robert, you're welcome to leave that with Chris there. Our
Will
clerk,
do.
and we'll take that. Thank you.
It was also reported in the papers twice when I've been in
Robert,
this
thank
country.
you.
Let me talk to this.
Okay. Great.
David Testor, Highland Park. And I had to follow on this because my great-grandfather came over shortly after with Andrew Carnegie's family, moved in with Thomas Hogan on the north side, and was a close friend of my great-grandfather. And it is Carnegie, not Carnegie, as so many other people pronounce. My great-uncle was Andrew Carnegie Drinan, and my great-grandfather was, or my grandfather was John Phipps Drinan, who was named after Andy's best friend who died when he was 18 in a horseback riding accident on the north side. So we've had a strong connection with the Carnegie family, and his donation of the libraries that were here, and Carnegie Institute, etc. I also wanted to comment, though, on the issue with the Clean Water Act. Back in 1990, with the assistance of Senator John Hines and Teresa Hines, I initiated a joint investigation into the protection of streams and wetlands in western Pennsylvania. And the findings of that were very, very strong. I was told that there was no stronger condemnation of one agency of the others because of the lack of protection in southwestern Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, when I was told that the senator was livid about the findings and would be acting upon them the next week, a few days later, his plane went down in eastern Pennsylvania, and nothing was ever done on that. I watched the destruction of wetlands that even during our investigation were marked for action that never occurred. So it is very important that we understand the importance of these streams, wetlands, and et cetera. What we used in prompting the action back in 1990 is that there had been a flood in Etna in which 9 people were killed, including a priest. And a lot of those waters actually came off the Hines property. And what was attributed to was the destruction of wetlands, the straightening of streams, and the paving. So these are all issues that are important. We had the floods in Carnegie, which occurred also since then during the early aughts of 2000. And that too was accentuated by both the action with the streams and the paving. So these issues, unfortunately, which we saw being reduced under the H.W. Bush administration and et cetera, are something that we really do have to keep an eye on and keep working at, because as they're degraded and removed piecemeal, we lose more and more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Okay. Good morning, sir. Welcome.
Cool. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. President, members of council, ladies and gentlemen, members of council. My name is Jerry Murray. I'm from East Liberty, 15206. I'm a community activist in the East Liberty area. You know, Black lives matter, white lives matter, but blue lives matter also. Where do we start to gain this trust again with the youth and the police department. Where does that trust begin? What is the answer? I mean, I look everywhere and I talk a lot with the youth in the area. Everybody says, there's nothing to do. There's nothing creative. But where's the answer? The fingers are pointing not only at me as a community activist, but it's pointing at you as city council members. We have got to get together some way, somehow, to develop some type of programming where these youth are not loafing the street, may it be day, night, evening, midnight. I mean, the answers are there. I don't really have it, but we as a community and politicians, we have to get together and figure out some way, somehow, what the answer is. I take a quote from one of my greatest heroes, Robert Francis Kennedy, and his quote was, "Some men have dreams and ask why." But he said, "I have dreams and ask why not." I want to know, that's our question to us. Are we asking why not? Or are we just sitting by and saying, oh well? There's got to be an answer somewhere. I mean, also being a retired security officer that worked the East Hills area during the violent crime range up there, terrible, terrible, terrible. I mean, let's not go back to those days. Let's not move backwards. Let's move ahead. Let's move forward and find a solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. Yeah, good morning, Ms. Brown.
My name is Yvonne F. Brown, and welcome to Pittsburgh. Okay. You know something? I know I come down. I've been coming. I got to watch because if I keep looking back, he'll holler at me. But I've been coming for 20-something years. And they always say I came to try and getting something for myself. No, I'm not, but I am learning a lot. Now, I don't know if any of the citizens seen Mr. He speaks about Panther Hollow, and his last name is CAP something. But anyway, he did a thing on Panther Hollow. He started with the first families that came over and so on. See, we lose a lot of history. We lose a lot. They don't want to listen, and we don't tell our children, so we lose. Okay, I came down today, though, because I have been so frustrated by the way I've been treated down here. And like when if Kraus get mad, throw me out, using the Gestapo tactics. Them is the tactics that they used on the Jews. This is what he did with me. He hollered at me. I whispered, "Oh, shut up. Ow, ow." I don't appreciate it. And sometimes I get so upset that I'm not helping the community. I don't feel, with me keep coming down here, I can't get nothing done. I came down, he put me out. I was trying to tell you, Mr. Lavelle, that up there by the funeral home, West Funeral Home, Reverend Paula Scott told me there's a hole. They've been trying to call you. Up there, you remember they came down, the firemen lived up there talking about the hill coming down. You haven't answered them. They say they called. And even, you don't realize I walked through, the lady works here, and she was talking about you're not answering the people down there at the lower part of the hill where the buses are coming with the college students, and we're at the top of the hill, we can't get down. But you know what, Mr. Kraus, I have gone to the state. Remember I told you I worked there? I'm trying to figure out how can I get this. I'm going because you're not following the ADA rules. You're not. You have her, she done took and changed it. We signed up at 12 by 12. She done changed it to 10:30, little tiny writing. When I take this form that I got from the state, when I take it back, I'm taking you my paper from the doctor. I have low vision. I done told him. The woman said, "Did you tell him?" I said, "Yes." Not only me. Remember Kim, who was blind, legally blind? Remember she said, "Oh, Yvonne's right. There's writing on the TV." They used to say they wait a half an hour. They start a half an hour late. And she said, "We can't sign up at 10:35, and they have started after 10:35. You see what they're doing?
I'm gonna keep coming though, but I'm taking it to the state.
Thanks, Ms. Brown.
I'm not gonna be hollering because the state's gonna take care of
Thanks,
you.
Ms. Brown. Okay, may we have our next speaker, please? Okay, good morning, Dr. Miller.
Dr. Ronald M. Miller, Bellevue, Red Oakland, Global Intelligence Society candidate for President of the United States 2020, globalintelligencesociety.org. Join me at Ruger's, 4th Avenue, Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 for a coffee conversation about anything. A concern of City Council is the legal use or illegal abuse of drugs by citizens. A combination of antiretroviral drugs is used by individuals infected by the human immunodeficiency virus as a reason to inhibit the emergence of full-blown AIDS, the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. The side effects of the antiretrovirals include impairment of cognitive ability, error-prone judgment, depression. Mr. Krause, are you taking a combination of antiretrovirals? What are they specifically? Biktarvy? For how long? The health of any Pittsburgh district representative, and therefore Mr. Krause, representative of District 3, is a matter of public concern. The health, physical, physiological, psychological of the President of Council, Mr. Krause, concerns the public more. Mr. Krause, it is your responsibility as a publicly elected officer to provide the Pittsburgh and U.S. publics with one, a medically verified list of disabilities, including HIV positivity. 2, a report of your most recent physical examination. 3, a review of your current psychological profile. Do so as soon as possible. 20 April 2019 would be helpful. We need to know just how sick you are. Another concern of council is the legality of housing real estate holdings of public officials, including district representatives. 5 March 2019, during public comment, I asked Ms. Gross to provide the public with her housing properties, and she hasn't done that. Why so shy, Ms. Gross? What are you hiding? And Mr. Lavelle's real estate stuff is very, very complicated. It is very elusive in some ways, but it's a matter of public record. This is no invasion of anybody's privacy. So I don't know why it's so difficult for all of you, and I now request that all of you, all 9 of you district representatives, provide the public with your holdings. If you don't do so voluntarily by the end of this month, it will be involuntarily.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Miller. Once again. Okay, are there any further speakers this morning that wish to address City Council? Okay, seeing no further speakers, we will go into presentation of papers. We will begin with Councilman Burgess, our Chair of Finance and Law. Good morning, Councilman.
Councilman Reverend Burgess presents Bill number 1559, resolution authorizing issuing of a warrant in the amount of $4,545.19 in favor of renter cars for damage to a rental vehicle from an accident with the city dump truck near 1621 Sawmill Run Boulevard on November 8, 2018.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilman Coghill, our Chair of Urban Recreation.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Grosser, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development. Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Harris, our Chair of Human Resources.
No new papers, Mr. Krause.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Lavelle, our Chair of Public Safety Services.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman O'Connor, our Chair of Intergovernmental Affairs. Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill number 1560, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Human Resources and Civil Service to enter into an intergovernmental cooperation agreement with the County of Allegheny and Partner for Work for the shared operation and administration of the 2019 Learn and Earn Summer Youth Employment Program in an amount not to exceed $1,500,000 and for the payment of the cost thereof. Bill number 1561, resolution providing for the authorization to make all legitimate expenditures for payments and agreements with various agencies to conduct a summer youth employment program to youth residing in the city, summer staff wages, and administrative expenditures necessary to implement the 2019 Learn and Earn Summer Youth Employment Program, and providing for the periodic transfer of funds to be used in the 2019 Learn and Earn Summer Youth Employment Program for payment of costs thereof not to exceed $200,000. Bill number 1562, resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned property in the 13th Ward of the city, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County, Council District Number 9, corner of North Braddock Avenue and Susquehanna Street. Bill number 1563, resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's rights, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned properties in the 13th Ward of the city, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County, Council District Number 9, Urban Agriculture, 7537 and 7539 Susquehanna Street. Bill number 1564, resolution providing for the execution of a corporation agreement with the URA for the administration of certain projects and programs and providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $2,550,000, Council Districts all. Bill number 1565, resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned properties in the 5th Ward of the City Council District Number 6, 3312 and 3314 Camp Street. Bill number 1566, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land by and between the URA and the Hill Community Development Corporation or any entity to be formed with respects to the sale situated in the 5th Ward of the City Council District Number 6. Bill number 1567, resolution authorizing the mayor and the Office of Management and Budget to renew the non-exclusive license agreement with the Federal General Services Administration for the Veterans Affairs Highland Drive campus at 7180 Highland Drive for limited use and to conduct due diligence pursuant to the application approved by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Department of Justice to acquire the property for law enforcement and emergency management purposes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Teresa Kell Smith, our Chair of Public Works Services. Councilman O'Connor for Councilwoman Kell Smith. Thank you, Councilman.
Councilwoman Kell Smith presents Bill number 1546, resolution amending resolution number 50 so as to transfer funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance and transfer these funds to Birmingham Foundation. That's $176.74. Bill number 1547, resolution amending resolution number 51 so as to transfer funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance and transfer these funds to Birmingham Foundation, $176.74. Bill number 1548, resolution amending resolution number 195 so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliances, formerly Wireless Neighborhoods, to Birmingham Foundation, $7,365.46. Bill number 1549, resolution amending resolution number 196 so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance, formerly Wireless Neighborhoods, to Birmingham Foundation, $7,365.46. Bill number 1550, resolution amending resolution number 199 so as to reprogram funds within the City Council office from Bridge Committee to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee and Mount Washington CDC Quality of Life Committee to Elliott West End Athletic Association, $5,579.48. Bill number 1551, resolution amending resolution number 200 so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Bridge Committee to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee and Mount Washington CDC Quality of Life Committee to Elliott West End Athletic Association, $5,579.48. Bill number 1552, resolution amending resolution number 197, so as to reprogram funds within City Council's office from Neighborhood Learning Alliance, Wind Char Senior Rent, Youth Places, Hurricane Youth Athletic Association, to Birmingham Foundation, Wind Char Seniors Rent $3,000, and Computer Reach $3,000. Bill number 1553, resolution amending resolution number 198, so as to reprogram funds within City Council from Neighborhood Learning Alliance, Wind Char Senior Rent, Youth Places, Hurricane Youth Athletic Association, to Birmingham Foundation, Wind Char Seniors Rent, and Computer Reach $3,000. Bill number 1554, resolution amending resolution number 203, so as to issue a name change within City Council budget, Parks and Recreation, Southwest Pittsburgh CDC, to Computer Reach, St. Andrew's Lutheran Church, Associated Master Plumbings of Allegheny County, West End Power, and Birmingham Foundation, West Side Mustang, $2,500. Bill number 1555, resolution amending resolution number 204, so as to perform a name change within City Council from Parks and Recreation, Southwest Pittsburgh CDC, to Computer Reach, St. Andrew's Lutheran Church, Associated Master Plumbers of Allegheny County, West End Power, and Birmingham Foundation, West Side Mustangs. Bill number 1556, resolution amending resolution 178, so as to transfer funds within City Council from Bridge Committee, West End Employment Center, to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee, Birmingham Foundation, West Side Mustangs, Pittsburgh Musical Theater, Sheridan United Methodist Church Kids Club, and the Education Partnership. Bill number 1557, resolution amending resolution number 179, so as to transfer funds within the City Council as follows: from Bridge Committee, West End Employment Center, to Northside Leadership Conference Bridge Committee, Birmingham Foundation, West Side Mustangs, Pittsburgh Musical Theater, Sheridan United Methodist Church Kids Club, the Education Partnership.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Strasburger, our Chair of Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management. Councilman O'Connor for Councilwoman Strasburger. Thank you, Councilman. Madam Clerk, the Chair has one paper. It is a communication. I will need a motion to read, receive, and file, please.
Council President Kraus presents Bill number 1568, communication from Jennifer Ozinger, acting Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting act and pay approvals on behalf of the Department of Public Works, excuse me, for Sean. Excuse me. Bill 1568. Communication from Jennifer Ozinger, Acting Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting act and pay approvals on behalf of the Department of Public Works for Sean Wiggle, Paul Abel, Rob Jacobs, and Mike Schmidt, per the acting pay policy revised in June 2018.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I have a motion to receive and file, please? Have a second? Do we have discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, aye. Opposed, abstentions, thank you. Motion passes. Our next order of business then is reports of committee for final action. Our first committee of the morning is Councilman Burgess, our chair of our Committee on Finance and Law. Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Reverend Burgess presents Bill number 1542, report of the Committee on Finance and Law for April 3rd, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1468, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Timothy Arnold in an amount not to exceed $5,400 in full and final settlement of a police-related matter. Bill number 1470, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Jane DeSimone in the amount of $4,223.17 for arbitration services rendered in connection with grievance 1701 labor matters. Bill number 1471, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Robert A. Creo in the amount of $4,500 for arbitration services rendered in connection with 2 labor matters.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of the bills under our Committee on Finance and Law. Do we have further discussion on the bills? Okay, seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bills will vote aye when the names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess. Mr. Coghill. Ms. Gross. Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle. Mr. O'Connor. Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes have finally passed. Our next committee of the morning is our Committee on Public Works Services. Our chair is Councilwoman Teresa Kill-Smith. May I have Councilman O'Connor for Councilwoman Kill-Smith? Thank you, Councilman.
Councilwoman Kill-Smith presents Bill number 1543, report of the Committee on Public Works for April 3rd, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1516, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works and the director of the Department of Finance to enter into a license and maintenance agreement with Just Ducky Tours, Inc. for the use of property located at the Monongahela Wharf Landing.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of this bill under our Committee on Public Works Services. Is there further discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle. Mr. O'Connor. Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The bills having received the legally required number of votes then have finally passed. Next, we have our Committee on Land Use and Economic Development. Our chair is Councilwoman Deborah Gross. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill number 1544, report of the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for April 3rd, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1533, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of City Planning to enter into a second amendment to the corporation agreement for program administration assistance with the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership regarding its offer to provide administrative assistance to the city for the Market Square Public Art Program and to enter into an arts exhibition loan agreement and license with Elisa Wormsley and Ricardo Robinson and the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership for the loan of Ascension for the program's 2019 display.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of this bill under our Committee on Land Use and Economic Development. Is there further discussion on the bill? And seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross. Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor. Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. The bill having received then the legally required number of votes is finally passed. Our final committee of the morning is our Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. Our chair is Councilman O'Connor. Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill number 1545, report of the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs for April 3rd, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1510, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh official sewer facilities plan for Mellon's Orchard at Station Street and Euclid Avenue. Bill number 1511, resolution adopting the plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh official sewer facilities plan for the 800 Penn Avenue Apartments project, which will involve the conversion of the 8-story office building into 7 floors of apartment units, with the street level being used as retail space in the 2nd Ward. Bill number 1512, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh official sewer facilities plan for the Thunderbird Cafe project located at 4045, 4953, 4055, and 4065 Butler Street. Bill number 1515, resolution adopting the plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh official sewer facilities plan for the 209 9th Street Apartments project, which will involve the conversion of the 9-story office building into 9 floors of apartment units, with the street level being used as retail space. The building address is 209 9th Street in the 2nd Ward.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of the bills under our Intergovernmental Affairs Committee. Do we have further discussion on the bills? Okay, seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bills will vote aye when their names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross. Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus, or Mr. O'Connor.
We look alike.
Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
7 members present, or
Okay.
7 ayes, 0 noes.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. The bills then, having received the legally required number of votes, have finally passed. I have 2 very brief meeting announcements. This afternoon at 2 p.m., Council will be holding an executive session in our small conference room as it relates to legal matters that are before the Council. And also tomorrow, Wednesday, April the 10th, beginning at 9:30 a.m., we will be hosting pre-agenda interviews for appointees to the Shade Tree Commission and to PWSA. If there's nothing further from members, may I have a motion to excuse our absent members, approve the minutes, and adjourn our meeting? Second? May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion passes. We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.